Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, Nyayo.
Nataka nyinyi kukaa kwa amani.
As he was popularly referred to, no doubt set his mark during his 24-year rule as the country's second president, following the death of founding President Mzee Kenyatta in 1978. A teacher come politician who unquestionably honed the skills he acquired in the classroom and which would eventually come to define his presidency. By the time he rose to power, he was already a skilled politician, having mastered his craft for a long time under the tutelage of Mzee Kenyatta, having famously said that he would follow in the footsteps of his predecessor in fighting poverty, disease, unemployment, illiteracy, and even end the shackles of oppression. To his credit, he did manage to achieve some. Others, however, proved elusive, forever haunting his legacy.
I mean well for you, I mean well for Kenyans, I want peace for Kenyans.
Education is, however, one of the areas that have become synonymous with Moi's rule. Almost every district back then recording an increase in the number of schools constructed. This is said to have been close to Mzee's heart.
Many people talk about education, but I'm proud to say Kenya's education, 844, is the best education for our children. Only that we overloaded our children more, and we are now pruning to enable them to fly higher without being overburdened.
The free milk program, Maziwa ya Nyayo, for the now famous Watoto wa Nyayo, was also adopted during his rule and is said to have sparked an increase in the number of young children joining school. The former president is also said to have particularly taken a keen interest in educating the girl child, as witnessed by the number of girls' schools bearing his name. Moi also encouraged students to enroll in the various public vocational training centers, insisting that basic skills will boost their repertoire before joining university.
When I introduced 844, there was hue and cry here and there that why many children should go to universities. We must restrict to A level. Wajuja wao waingie katika A level. Nasema hapana, waende. Itawezekanaje basi? Kama mnasema hakuna 844, hakuna kujifunza ufundi, kijana akiingia katika university na ajui hata kutengeneza sanduku, ajui jina la spana, ajui jina la screw, sangapi atajifunza mambo ya juu ya university, hali ya kujua yale ya madogo. Nafasi yake itachukua kujifunza jina la square, juu ya saw, juu ya yote. Ndio utapata engineer nusu tu.
Regarding issues of development, Moi sang about it almost everywhere he went.
Wakati tunapojenga nchi ya Kenya, haijengwi na watu wanyonge, hujengwa na watu walio na afya. Vice President Elvo Shirini.
Hence the popular weekly activity called Harambe that was geared towards local development, particularly in the construction of schools, purchase of school buses, and even the digging of water boreholes. Throughout his political life, he stuck to the basics.
Kwenda pole pole ili ujulikane wewe ni mwema, wewe unapenda watu. What is required is practical politics, not theoretical politics. Wanapenda kusema pale as a lawyer, so I'm going to stand and use legal language atupate mwananchi. Understand language ya mwananchi, language ya grassroots, language ya taabu ya wananchi katika vitongojini.
This, he maintained, was the key to understanding the needs of his people. It was during the Nyayo era electricity is said to have reached most rural homes in the country, and so did public telephones, particularly in the northern frontier district, improving communication. He was a lover of everything African, as were the leaders of his time. He is said to have enjoyed songs that praised his regime.
Mzee Moi kweli, asante sana.
Raisi wa Kenya, Mzee Moi, sote tunaimba kwa furaha tele.
Wimbo ya nyayo yatuongoza kwenda mbele.
Kata nyayo, wana polisi kata nyayo, wananchi kata nyayo, wananchi.
Shambani mwanyayo na zilimwe wanaocheza na uhuru wangamize.
Regionally, Moi is recognized for initiating the revival of the East African community 23 years after the collapse of its organs.
Penda jirani yako kama unavyojipenda. Afrika Mashariki itakuwa na jeshi lake. Afrika Mashariki itakuwa na mambo yake, na amani ndio msingi wa mambo mengi.
In 1989, Moi will then again make international headlines by banning 12 tons of elephant tusks, changing the global policy on ivory exports under the Convention on the International Trade in Endangered Species. 9 years later, Kenya will face its worst terror attack, the bombing of the US Embassy in Nairobi, where more than 200 people lost their lives. Moi, however, during this time of grief, reassured the nation that all will be well.
Ni sikitiko kwa wananchi wa Kenya kwa maafa ambayo yamefanyika siku ya leo. Kuletwa vita kwetu sisi watu wenye amani, hatujui ni kwa nini. Watu wa Kenya hawana vita na mtu wowote. Nasema pole kwa wananchi ambao hawakuwa na hatia na waliumia, wengine walikufa.
He was a president that was revered and feared in equal measure by his citizens due to his style of leadership, especially after the failed coup of 1982. A divisive figure in Kenyan politics, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. The jury is, however, out on what his legacy will truly be. Shukri Wachu, K24 TV.